Ierlan. Anybody who faces TD Ierlan is faced with a daunting task. This face-off specialist who transferred into Yale in the offseason from Albany, where he set all kinds of records last year, continued right where he left off. He has been a dominant force for Yale, and when you talk about that great attack unit for Georgetown, they can't do much if they don't have the ball, and TD Ierlan's job is to keep them from getting it.
The thing that separates TD from everyone else, it's not just his ability to win the draw, it's how athletic he is scooping up his own wins. He doesn't need to use the wing guys, so it makes it really difficult for opposing teams to have the 3v3 scheme against Ierlan because he's so fast at it and he picks up the rock on his own.
Ierlan and James Riley will go at it, and there you go, Kark. Ierlan wins the face-off and gets possession, at least temporarily, to defending champs. DeAngelis will try and track down the loose ball. Doesn't, but it goes out of bounds for Yale.
With zone and man, because of the relentless approach of Yale, I mean, they shoot the ball more than any team in college lacrosse.
TD Ierlan gets the better of James Riley, I should say, defending national champs. And Ierlan continues to work on Riley. Big loose ball picked up by Georgetown. We'll get a chance to feel
awful.
Yeah. He scores against his twin brother.
Yeah,
not even just his brother, his twin.
Exactly, and competition's been no stranger to these kids. They live for it, but as a parent, I was fortunate to play with my brother. The thought of having to actually go head-to-head positionally.
He'll let his twin brother know all summer long about that one.
Back at the X, where Ierlan has been dominant, as you would expect, wins another one. And this field has really been tilted to one side during the first 5+ minutes of this game.
Kark, you mentioned it now as Georgetown.
Morrill again beats Brand. Alex Bean is taking the draw for Georgetown there. Coach Warren said it. Coach Warren is to try and figure some way to solve TD Ierlan. Ierlan wins it to himself cleanly.
We talk about changing guys as Yale relentlessly again.
Tavlin buries that shot.
He's just faster than the opposition. His wrists are too quick, his escapability. And when he has the ball, he can trigger offense and
the position. So when you combine all those things, even for a Georgetown team that we remember was used to seeing Trevor Baptiste every year at Denver.
Great point.
Riley won it initially. Now we're going to get a flag down. 4 goals in a hurry, but they need possessions to do it. Riley back at the X, and Ierlan wins it. Eschbach, will he take a shot? And as you said, he's just coming into his own at the end of this year, just what the opposition needs. Now we'll have a hold on the face-off, and it's going to go against
the fact that they've played non-stop defense. These guys are gassed.
And it continues.
Back from that ACL last year, again, he missed their tournament a bid last season. As soon as he was cleared, he won the team's run test. So this is a guy, Adrian Peterson, like freak of nature stuff, coming off a knee injury. There, it's almost a fake spin move right there. In the mirror dodge days of the Notre Dame O-line, we try and punch. Riley's going for a single-season record for their school, and it still pales in comparison to someone who's darn near 80% at the X.
And it's so difficult to deal with him because he picks up his own change all the time. He doesn't need the wing guys. What did Coach Shea tell you the other day?
3 goals for Baccaro, or if I was on Long Island, Baccaro, for Georgetown. Now has them with a little bit of hope here, but TD Ierlan can sometimes snuff out that hope when he continues to win possession for his team.
Outside the hashes.
Exactly. Your job as a coach is to put your guys in the best position to do what they do well, to understand your personnel. And knowing you've got that matchup looming, you're hamstringing him to them as a guy they knew could be a great shooter, probably a great guy on man up.
Beat now at the X for the Hoyas. Makes no difference. Ierlan wins it again.
If you are Coach Warren, though, you are happy with the way this team responded.
And being there in front of that crease, just being at the right place at the right time, and he does it once again.
And he lets goalies hear it, too. Gaudette loves the jaw.
On that one.
Plays behind the cage to midfielders getting those clean step-down shots. I mean, the Georgetown staff is looking. It's all about T.D. Ierlan. You ask any opposing coach in college lacrosse, they have nightmares about this guy. Why? Rapid fire on the clamp. His clamp is quicker than everyone's. His athletic ability, in addition to the quick hands, allows him to rotate or reverse his rotation. He's got the wrestling background and the low center of gravity. And then it's his escape ability. So if he kicks it out in front or behind, T.D. Ierlan is masterful of picking up his own loose ball and winning. 11 straight for T.D. in the first half. I mentioned the wrestling background.
Great
got a little leverage.
Yep. Great
he would tech fall you, Cotter, in probably, I don't know,
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
I'd give up.
Leverage, balance, strength. This guy's got it all, Mike.
And this is a guy who taught himself how to face off on YouTube.
Wow.
So he has done all of this with that ability and the intelligence that Coach Shade describes.
Goals apiece coming into today. That is the highest scoring goal duo in all of college lacrosse. If they have the ball, they will score.
And think about last night, Steph Curry. What did he do in the half? Another different opportunity here for Coach Warren. Trying something with Gibson Smith, taking the draw with T.D. Ierlan, but it's still Ierlan.
New high score. Is that bad? Did I break the game? Comfortable even down 6 for Georgetown in the first half.
And what can Gibson Smith now do, if anything, against Ierlan?
You talked about the long pole. That's what it does. It puts more pressure on TD. So you're going to defend, especially when both of those guys are dodgers. It's not like one guy's a crease guy, one guy's a passer. They do similar things, just stylistically different.
Coach Warren went with Finn Dunn that time at the Faceoff X. Still can't find a solution for T.D. Ierlan, though. Now goals were scored by Gaudette, 41 instead of 44. They look so similar when they get the ball down low in that scrum.
They're both so strong through contact. Just putting a stick on them is not nearly enough as a big Yale turnover off of school through college. And we're creatures of habit, Gark. If that's what works for you, you stick with it.
Ierlan tried to get off a shot. He doesn't. It ends up being a turnover. Now we got a race for the ball and came in and won it. Now Ierlan back at it. 1,000 career faceoff wins with that win for T.D. Ierlan. But the ball's dislodged.
There's your shorties.
Now a scrum.
Win 1,000 is unbelievable, but credit Georgetown. They're getting dominated at the X, but finding ways to negate that onslaught in the possessions, Mike.
And to have this calm about them going through that to start this game is the difference of your second tournament appearance in as many years as opposed to last year where all of this was new to them.
That's a great point, and Coach Warren said that as much. Last year, these players weren't used to this kind of spotlight being on them. Now they're a little more used to it. They're 3.5 points per game. Good for 6th among Division I freshmen. Ierlan continues to just dominate. 22 in a row. It's unbelievable. Eschbach fire. There's Brandow right there.
That's why, like, if you play this team in zone, you're in trouble. I think you challenge them in man, and when you see them in the extra man or against zone defenses, that's where they're at their best.
Warren trying Lacalzi, goalie on T.D. Ierlan, still can't win it. Gonna maybe close this thing to within 1 or 2 goals. Yale goes on a run. They're the defending national champs. And Ierlan just continues to win possessions for his team. Giving Newman another shot at the face-off.
And this is 1 year off an ACL.
Newman back at the face-off X for Yale. T.D. Ierlan has gone back into the trainer's room here at Reese Stadium. Well, if Yale wants to repeat for the first time since Duke was able to pull the trick just a few years ago, they're going to need to have T.D. Ierlan healthy for this run. And look at this. He takes a shot from Finn Dunn right on that wrist. And you see him afterward. Watch him here afterwards. Sometimes it's hard to tell how a slash like that is going to affect you, but see him jumping around back here.
The 28 for 31, amazing. 1,000 career face-off wins, the only player in the history of the sport to do it in 3 years. My only concern is him on the field right now. I would have him out, up by 6. Brought TD to the X when they were winning by 6. They're going to do it when they're winning by 5. But look at that beating he takes.
He just takes a beating. Oh. Smith again with another call. Yale, TD Ierlan. This game, for much of the game, guys, it's really been an evenly played game, other than the fact that TD Ierlan continues to win possessions for Yale.
This Georgetown team has showed some dominance on offense for stretches, but every time it seems to be getting a little hairy, TD Ierlan's the one to come and bail them out of the face-off X, and he's done it now battling through, getting beat up towards the end of this game.
It means he is beating Yale mano-a-mano, calling them out on the end line.
And goals like that, what are you supposed to do better? It's just him going 100.
Robert Morris, let's not forget what Romo did against Maryland last year, pushed him right to the brink. 31 face-off wins, the all-time single-game record in NCAA lacrosse history for TD Ierlan.